Good morning.
Santa Barbara Teen Sports listeners, I'm your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Hey, Santa Barbara, you've tuned into Teen Sports Radio. 15 years later, thank you for all your loyal listeners that have been with us since the beginning. We love you. We love the world that's been tuning in as well. Today's talk, we've got a great lineup of co-hosts today. We've got the Hooga Man, Don Sanders. How you doing, Don?
Very well, thanks. How's everybody?
Excelente. Christine Marie, the view from the stars and the deck. How you doing, Christine?
I'm doing great, thanks. How about yourself?
Excellent, thank you. Who else? Dominique Hackett.
Hello. And we have Anthony Carr with us.
Yeah, no, Anthony Rodriguez.
Anthony Rodriguez.
Like, who's Anthony Carr?
Probably an ex-lover.
No,
I don't know who that was.
He's an acupuncturist.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he was my favorite acupuncturist.
You should text him later.
Anthony.
Okay? Why don't you give him a text later?
Anthony Rodriguez.
How you doing, Anthony?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Okay, so what we're going to do is we always start the show every week. Let's just give a little love to the community. And Dominique, who do you want to give some love to?
Well,
today?
I'll give love to Anthony Carr. So if you have never worked with an acupuncturist, he is on State Street, a little bit below Mission. And I just want to highly recommend a really good acupuncturist because they have a conversation with you. They, ask you not only about your symptoms, but about your emotional and mental health. And then it's so relaxing to lie on the table. And they have lots of different procedures. And if you've never had a filament put into a pressure point, it's not as scary as you think it might be. I don't like needles, and I do just fine with acupuncture. So thank you, Anthony Carr.
We both kind of raised our kids the same way with chiropractors and acupuncturists. Those were my quote unquote GPs.
Yes.
They're not like, doctors per se, but that was the avenue and, that's the lane that I went into.
Yeah. Good life lessons, good using food as medicine, using activity as medicine, using your life as your medicine.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Don Sanders, who do you want to give some love to?
Give a shout out to our local sports programs up here. Even though it's not a big, we don't have a big school in terms of enrollment, our high school, they've accomplished a lot, not only in sport, actually, also in the arts. They have a very amazing theater and art and music department. So for not having a big population base, they've done some good things with, throughout women's and young men's athletics and also in the arts and in music.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah, Emily's going to touch on that later. She has a segment about that. I mentioned to her, I said, I'm thinking back when I was in high school, I would say 30-40% of all the athletes, they were also in the band and they also played an instrument.
Yeah.
I mean,
or they were in
a little
theater.
different because you were given instruments back then and it's not like it is today, and you did too. And
yes.
Emily did, and everybody that I know, all pretty much the co-hosts actually played an instrument as they were playing sports, which is a great team builder in its own and builds in pathways and all the other kind of stuff. Christine, who do you want to give that?
The football team tends to practice at night, but sometimes the night lights are on for the football team and sometimes they're on for band practice.
Yes. Yeah, same thing here. Christine, who do you want to give?
I want to give love to Loca Vivant Kitchen. It's the sort of it's this amazing sort of collaborative food system kitchen. It's they have organic, gluten free. There's like a women's cooperative coming together to bring really good local, amazing food. They're actually I ordered food from them recently, and they had got some great bread and some some pizza dough and it's just amazing. And they prepare it for you and they give it to you and then they tell you how to cook it and fix it. And they're going to be doing a kitchen too, where you can get prepared meals that are local and organic. And I've just been keeping my eye on them. It's called Loca Vivant.
Loca Vivant. I love it.
And their kitchen is located, or their pickup is located, that little shopping center right there at where 154 hits the Hollister right there. And restaurants and different things in there. It's right in there. I forget.
Oh, yes. What do they call it? La Mercada Plaza or something like that?
Something like that. Yeah. It's a nice little hub.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful.
Anthony, who do you want to reach out to?
I just want to give a big shout out to the Office of Emergency Management here in Santa Barbara County. I just want to really give them some thumbs up because they've been really working hard to make sure that we continue to be safe. So just want to shout out.
Beautiful. Thank you to all the people in the county that are keeping us safe.
Yeah, and I just want to give a little reminder. You have until, for those who haven't, just a reminder that the Greek food, it's not a festival, but they are offering Greek food here Saturday, October 25th and 26th. And it's a grab and go. So
Greek Grab Go.
GreekGrabGo.com. GreekGrabGo.com. So yeah, check that out and see if it's still available. But we had Father Bob here out on the show, and it was a great interview. And I mean, it's good to get back into community. If you haven't been going to church, my kids both go to church. It's kind of a cool thing. You know, they went to a Catholic school, but then they left for a while. Now they're back. Dominique and I are exploring a couple of, communities that we are thinking about participating in. So yeah, it's kind of good. It's
find your tribe.
Yeah, it's nice though. Just to be awake enough to want to do that. So, so are you ready, Anthony? You're up first. How's that? I picked you.
Yeah, I'm ready to roll.
That's going to be a good topic. I can't wait to hear what's going to be coming out of your mouth in less than 2 minutes. We'll be back with more after these messages.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Hey, everybody, this is Anthony Rodriguez coming to you from Teen Sports Radio. Today, I want to talk a little bit about the effects of suicide. And I know that it's a very difficult topic to discuss, but it's a really important topic to discuss. Reason being is that we need to talk about it more so we can find a way to prevent it. And we need to stop making it a taboo. A lot of things that are happening in the schools is that sometimes there's a lot of bullying. Now, the AI doesn't help. You know, there's a lot of things that are coming out in the news. And we need to be able to keep an eye on our kids, our teens. And teens, you as well, keeping an eye out for your friends. You guys got to look out for each other. So if you see somebody that is normally happy and is kind of down, you know, we have that sixth sense. Use it and take advantage of it and just ask somebody, hey, are you okay? Do you want to talk? Because sometimes just by asking that question definitely can save a life. Now, if somebody needs support or needs some help, tell them that that's okay to ask for help. I know it's one of the hardest things for us to do. I know that was very difficult for me, is to ask for help. I had a really hard time, but I'm glad that somebody saw that there was something going on with me and asked that question if I was okay. And that gave me an opportunity to open up. So you can reach out to a friend, you can reach out to the school, anybody that you feel comfortable with. Please reach out. I promise you, I know that life is hard and it's going to get hard. It's never easy, but it's worth the fight. It's definitely worth the fight. And your life matters. You matter. Whether somebody tells you you don't, well, they're wrong, because you do matter. You know, you're here for a reason. Yeah, you're here for a reason, and we just got to figure it out. And I'm going to be honest with you is that I still haven't figured it out, you know, what my purpose is. And that's okay. And, I've struggled many times, and it's been very difficult, but I promise you, it is worth the fight, and you're going to be okay. Things are not easy. And sometimes they're a lot harder for others. But just know that you're not alone. And you'll never be alone. Just always reach out. You have people that care about you. And if you ever feel that you don't, always reach out to somebody.
Well, the thing that it concerns me is doing a little bit of a deep dive and asking you to come aboard this week and talk about it. One, and we're coming up on the holidays. And two, numbers don't lie. Our teens are that this.
You think that the suicide would go down, but it's still going up.
Down. It's still going up. So it's like, okay, so we need to like gather around, circle the wagons. We need to figure this out. And I don't think AI, I agree 100%. I don't think it's helping.
Well, because isn't it, Anthony? Isn't it human connection is just so precious?
It is. And I think that, a lot of us lost that during COVID, unfortunately. And now I know that some of the kids that were going to school through Zoom, they don't have that connection that we had possibly. And they're getting stressed out and they're getting anxious and and so we all need to figure out a way to be able to bring back that human connection. Because, that human connection is a big deal, even though we might feel that it's not. But honestly, it truly is. Because, sometimes I work from home and I've noticed that I start getting kind of depressed. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on a second. I need to go to work. So I'll go to work and work from the office because I'm just here by myself with the dogs and it's dark in here. And that can affect you. And I seen it affect me. And so I really suggest that if somebody's feeling kind of down and you notice it, something is just not right, then try to do something different to make you feel different. Because we all deserve to be happy and we all deserve a second chance. We all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect, but we all deserve a second chance.
Don.
Yeah, I think we're in a society that's sometimes more actively involved in tear down than building up. And I'm foreshadowing the subject of a hygge I've got going, but it's very important that we embrace humanism, because all this wonderful technology that can do so much for us, we still have to bring the human element to that, and that can't be replaced. It's like I'm sure everybody here has seen all kinds of AI generated stuff, and it doesn't have the same kind of you can just tell it doesn't have the same kind of feeling if there's no heart. We're a society of humans, not robots.
And it's so interesting that we call ourselves human beings.
Right.
It's that sharing of our beingness. I mean, that's the love connection. We are human beings, and we need our teens to know that they're not being judged. Everybody is here as a being, and we are all loved.
Mm.
Yeah, when I was living in Zululand, one of my most favorite things about that was the greeting that everybody gave when you saw somebody on the street, which is Sawubona, which means I see you.
Yeah.
And it's something that we miss in the world these days, because a lot of times people have got their sunglasses on and their headphones on, or they're looking at their phone, even walking down the street, and they won't look at each other. And I oftentimes want to just like jump into people's space and be like, I see you. Hello, hello, hello. And I want to be seen.
Yes.
And it can be so uncomfortable. And sometimes I try to do like almost a spirit to spirit. And that actually helps it, where like I'll see someone walking up and I'll think to them, hello, I'm sending you love. And sometimes they'll look up and smile, and then I can smile too. But if I send a good thought first, it makes connection almost possible.
That is so beautiful. I love that.
And no matter how successful or prominent somebody is, how they may appear, there's a lot of people still struggling with the small little room of their lesser self. They don't know how to break out into sharing space with people in a larger space.
And all those images that we see are people's perfected images, that they put on social media. It's not showing what's the struggles. That's kind of, I think, one of the things I like to, be pretty honest about the struggles.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, you look at, they got an energy drink in one hand and a processed wrapped food in another. So that's not really helping if you're, going down a rabbit hole of being, it's the nutrition that you're putting in your body, and that's also mimicking whatever you've got floating around in your head. So you just can't be afraid to accept and ask for help. That is the key.
And I just want to tell teens, when you walk outside and you feel the sunlight on your face, that's free. You breathe the air, that's free. The universe is giving you love for free. Take it in.
Yeah, I mean, in easygoing moments, sometimes we're tempted to think that, I just want to build a comfortable, easy life. But, struggle is what brings out our character, is what develops our character. And even if like for me, sports was more about trying to challenge my weaknesses than it was, I didn't go on to a career in sports or whatever, but challenging myself in that way for all the teen athletes and things. It's like that process of going through your insecurities or am I good enough and that kind of thing, that's priceless, to purposely encounter difficulty to grow your character. Dominique's talked about that many times.
I think that was one of the hardest things as a teen, because there are so many things that are uncomfortable. You go into a new class, you're working in a new text, you're learning a new subject, you're a new person on a team. There's all this newness happening all the time. And sometimes your nature is like, where's the Eddie? Where's the hooga moment?
Well, I also want to extend this out to the parents. You could see the kids out there that need. I saw the kids out there that needed a little extra. So, what do? Just ask the parents, hey, I'll pick up so-and-so today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
go for a Blenders.
Yeah.
Spend a moment.
Exactly. So parents, you could do that. I mean, it takes a village to raise, and I did this all on being a single mom, but being coach for all those years, I was used to having, upwards of 10 kids at the house at all times. So anyway, that's what I'd like to do, is just extend that. Everybody, let's make a connection. It's time. Just look around there, it'll come right to your face. I promise. That's usually how the universe works. When they want you to connect with somebody, be open-minded to it. And then kids, please be open-minded to ask for help if you need it. And share your thoughts and feelings, and we'll get through this. Okay?
And share your smiles.
Yeah, definitely. We will get through this together. Let's take a break. We'll be back with a lot more after these messages.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Hello, Teen Sports Radio family. It's Dominique from Santa Barbara Wellness Center, your friendly neighborhood coach in regards to body, mind, and spirit. Now, I want to take you on a little imagination journey. Picture something with me. Imagine that you are a fish. Yep, a fish. Not a gold medalist yet, just a goldfish, okay? You're chilling in your bowl, maybe doing some laps, showing off your new tail fin flips, trying to impress that cute little neon tetra who's always swimming by twice just to make sure you see her. Life's good. You know where the fake castle is, the bubbles come up, and when it's feeding time, everything's predictable. The water's a little cloudy, but you've learned to live with it. You've adjusted your expectations. Like when your phone screen is cracked and you just gotta tilt your head to avoid the crack. Yeah, that's you, the fish, saying, everything's just fine. Until one day, boom. The current shifts. The water goes wild. You feel vibrations. The temperature drops. And get this, a giant hand appears out of nowhere. Cue the panic music. Okay, every fish is losing it. The world is ending, yells one. We've made the fish gods angry, shouts another. One dramatic fish starts writing his last will on a seashell. But here's the thing. That big, scary hand, well, it's not here to destroy them. It's actually just cleaning the bowl. Yeah, turns out their murky water was full of old gunk, algae, food bits, maybe a Lego that fell in there from 2007. The hand was actually doing them a favor. Now, let's pause for a moment, because this is us, isn't it? The world feels right now a little bit like a fishbowl mid-cleaning. Everything's stirred up. Our routines, our social media feeds, even how we feel about school, sports, and each other. Stuff that used to make sense doesn't anymore. Like, what the heck is real, right? We start sort of panicking like this fish. What's happening? Why is everything changing? But what if, just what if, this is our cosmic cleaning time? What if it feels like chaos is actually the universe, God, source, whatever name you want to give it, scrubbing out the old junk so that we can see more clearly again? Have you ever done a deep clean in your room? Like really clean it? You start by making it way worse. There's laundry piles, mystery socks, science experiments in the water bottle that was under your bed. And for a while, it looks like a disaster. But by the end, everything's fresh again. You can breathe. You can think. You actually want to be in your room. That's the same thing that's happening in the fishbowl, and this is life. Now back to our little fishy friends. Amid the chaos, a few of them stay calm. They're like, hey, relax. The hand's not evil. It's just cleaning. The light that's blinding us, well, that's polishing the glass. And those calm fish, well, they're the MVPs. Because when everyone else is flipping their fins, these calm fish remember something important. The rhythm beneath it all, the flow, the trust. They can't control the hand, they can't stop the current, but they can trust the process. Sound familiar, athletes? You can't skip conditioning and still expect game day clarity. You can't binge energy drinks and still expect your body to feel good. You can't doom scroll for 2 hours and expect to have peace of mind. The cleanup is uncomfortable, but it's necessary. It's like when your coach makes you run suicides until you can taste your regrets. You hate it, but later, when you're faster and stronger, you realize that was a clean water moment. The murk just got cleared. Now here's where the story gets cool. The bowl gets emptied, and for a moment there's nothing, like total emptiness, and the fish are like, great, we're doomed. Thanks for nothing, hand. And then the clean, clear water pours in. Cool, sparkling, pure. The fish blink their little eyes and realize, wow, the castle looks new. The pebbles shine. Even their scales glow a little brighter. What looked like destruction was actually renewal. And one of the wise fish says, the bowl was always here. It was we who forgot what clean water was like. Dang, mic drop, fish. Because think of it, the world didn't change as much as our awareness did. When life gets cloudy, we're surrounded by noise, fear, gossip, comparison, pressure. We forget what the clear feels like. We adapt to the murk. We stop noticing the light. And then something comes along, a challenge, a breakup, a big loss, a world event. And suddenly, the hand's in the bowl again. We panic, we fight the current, and if we just breathe and trust, that fresh water always comes. And here's the thing too, teens. You're growing up in one of the biggest fishbowl cleanings in history. Old systems, old rules, even old beliefs are being scrubbed right now. Sometimes it feels really rough, like everything is just too much. But what if this isn't punishment? What if it's preparation? What if you're being cleaned for clarity, for truth, for greatness? You can't play your best game if your mental water is toxic. You can't feel peace if you're swimming in comparison and chaos. You can't lead others if you don't first learn how to float when the current shifts. So the next time life feels like that, chaotic, uncertain, uncomfortable, try saying this. I'm in the middle of a cleaning. I'm not drowning. I'm transforming. Let that be your new mantra, because when the water settles, you'll see things that you couldn't see before. You'll spot opportunities, friendships, and ideas where they were invisible in the fog. And here's your little reminder from me. Be the calm fish. Be that MVP. The one who whispers, it's okay, trust the current. Because when you hold your peace, you help others find their peace too. That's leadership. That's wellness. That's strength. So take a deep breath, teens, and realize your bowl's not breaking. It's just being cleaned and polished. Your life is not falling apart. It's being refreshed. Trust the process, ride the waves, and remember, the clean water is always on its way.
You got this.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
Every single Tuesday.
9 a.m.
Woo! We're back in the house. Emily, drum roll. You have to say. You know what I want to do is, you offer some. I just love voice. People happy when I hear free. Okay, so we don't talk about it, and it's like everybody go. I gotta mention.
There's actually a lot of free things. We can do
we got a whole episode on free. I love free, especially with the holidays.
Yes.
Because what does it do? Especially when it comes to music and singing and all that. That brings unity. And this show for teens and teen athletes, and it crosses over to all generations because you could invite your mom, you could invite your grandparents.
Volunteers.
Yes.
Happy volunteers.
Yes. So, Emily, what free thing are we offering?
Well, I have an amazing free guitar class every Wednesday night from 5:30 to 7:30. And you might be thinking, oh, but I don't have a guitar. I couldn't possibly go to this class because even if I went to a free class, I don't have an instrument. But guess what? The guitars are free too. You can rent a guitar and you can come. And I'm so excited because it is a safe space to find your voice, to express yourself, to, there's a lot going on in our lives, right? Teens have a lot of responsibilities, but to find a safe space to express yourself.
I mean, you could bring the softball team, bring a group,
You could bring a group.
You bring a group is good.
Yes.
So this way you don't have to go by yourself if you don't want to.
You don't have to.
So how long does this go for?
This goes the entire year.
Oh, wow.
It goes all the way until June.
Good.
And we will do a couple performances.
June 2026?
Yeah, June 2026.
Wow,
yeah.
fantastic.
So if you've had a dream, and I'll introduce you to the electric guitar, so if you want to rock out, and there's a basic structure, but if you have songs you've always wanted to learn to play and sing, because we sing in there, I will teach you how to do that. So, yeah.
That's a beautiful thing. So I've always said, when I was growing up, I played the guitar as well. And then as far as being a teen athlete goes, I think it's so important. Dominique, you had brought this up because you did the track and then you also played the clarinet.
No, I did the cello.
Cello, sorry. Okay, yeah. Dominique, don't correct me. If I say you played the clarinet, just say yes. Who's going to look it up, Dominique? Seriously. Who cares? Cello, I don't even know what that is.
My mom played the French horn.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, I just think it's important to talk about those neural pathways. Let's talk about that. And music, being an athlete, you also were a track star, correct?
I was.
And then you also played an instrument.
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk, because that whole team building is not only in team sports, it's also being part of maybe a band, getting a group, just jamming with your friends, all that kind of thing, because you're only as good. You got to find that click, that thing, that when you're playing. I remember I was playing 25-6-4 Chicago back in the day, and this is how I quit actually playing guitar. We were hitting that song, and I went dun 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 dun, and then Chris Schmidt's on the drums, and we're all doing a thing, and we are just killing it in the living room. And all of a sudden, my dad busts in the house after probably a 2-hour drive from night school, and he exploded. Like, what are you doing? It wasn't that late, but anyway, he broke up the jams festival, and honestly, then my guitar went in the closet. And that was the end of the whole guitar for me. So please, parents, don't do that. Just wait outside till the song's over at least. Okay, because I was hitting it. Okay, I was in my jam.
Yeah.
And, and here I am 45 years later still thinking, about that.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I did the same thing in my 20s. I got a guitar for my 21st birthday, and I was terrible. I was strumming that thing, thinking I was a rock star, and it was awful. And so it's really actually so key that you said that, because there's so many people that are afraid. There's actually a term called sonically repressed, and that's a term where you're afraid to make sounds because you have been shut down.
Right.
And so if you are not able to express, and you're always afraid of being nailed,
Right.
then
Right.
and you that actually plays out in a lot of ways. But it's like Nelson Mandela says that, or actually it was Marianne Williamson, it's not the darkness we're afraid of, it's our light.
Right.
And so,
It's our sound. We're literally afraid of our sound.
We're afraid of our sound. So teens, we talk about speaking up, speak your truth. Well, sing out, right? Sing your truth and live that loudness and that boldness of who you are.
I just want to pass this on because teens may not know how to recognize the realness of wanting to either sing or get involved with music. When I first finally got my harp, I always knew I needed to play the harp. When I first got my harp and I sat down and I started to strum her, I cried.
Yes.
And the tears are the reality that I needed that strumming and that vibration, and that I have a reason, and who knows what it is. It's a mystery, but it's a beautiful mystery of being involved with an instrument. And I just want teens to know that your body actually tells you, hey, you need to go do this. You need to go risk life and limb and go learn to sing, go learn to play.
Well, let's do this. This is perfect. I want Em to go over, because you had mentioned some things, the whole, mental acuity that you have, like with the whole connection, like whatever you were saying last night. I'm like, oh wow, remember that for the show tomorrow.
Well, it's absolutely huge. And Dominique, thank you for saying that. That same thing happened to me when I was in Sound Dome in Alicante, Spain. I sat in the dome and I played my guitar. Nobody was in there, and I sang and I heard my true voice for the first time, and I cried. And so the thing I want to say is those neural pathways, we are vibration. So just like we're on a radio station right now, we are a radio station. And so if we tune ourselves to the vibrations, that means listening to the songs that inspire you, that it changes our brain chemistry, right?
No, it's perfect.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can you tell me about the class again? Where is it located and what time?
It's Isla Vista Community Room, and it's 5:30 to 7:30 every Wednesday night.
Right.
Every Wednesday.
Isla Vista Community Room. What street is that on? Is it Embarcadero?
It's in Isla Vista. It's off of the Embarcadero, and there's the community center, which is the big room, and then there's the tiny room in the other side of the parking lot, and that's where we are.
Well, we've got a couple of minutes left, but I still want to dive into the whole band thing. Guys, the band is cool. I don't know where we're at right now, but I loved it when I watched, I would say a third back in my school. Okay, this is back east. I really didn't participate a lot when I moved out in my senior year to California, but I know at least 1 in 3 of those band members were athletes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And which I think makes you a better athlete.
Absolutely. So when we work together, there's resonance and there's connection, and bands have different instruments. We have different strengths. So if we work together as a team, as we work together as a band, we get the highest good of all.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. And the thing that amazed me with band and orchestra in schools, wow, they give you a chance. They throw you in the pond, and all of a sudden you're playing with everyone, and you've only figured out 3 notes.
And I like that. That's good because everybody needs a shot.
It's a great experience.
It's next up, I think that's
a great experience.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And my son Devin did the jazz band in the early morning. And he played the clarinet.
Oh, that's where it came from.
Yes, he played the clarinet.
Clarinet. Somebody in that family had it. We had 5 kids.
It was just so fun, and now it's a part of him,
Yeah.
So I just want kids to know, hey, there are free music lessons out there.
Yes.
You don't have to panic, because you can come back the next Wednesday and get another free lesson, because this is a gift from Emily to the community. And especially with Christmas coming up, go learn a song or 2. Mom's already cracked out the Christmas music on the piano. It is so fun.
We're going to play duets. I love it.
This is awesome. Everybody, just Check it out. Emily the Songbird. What's your email address?
Email is eyurch@yahoo.com. EYURCH@yahoo.com.
Sweet. Thank you so much, Em. Guess who's up next?
Woo!
Hooga!
Hey, we just made a song.
Bye for now.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
Every single Tuesday.
9 a.m.
For Teen Sports Radio, I'm Don Sanders. DonsMassageOhio.com, 805-236-2684. I'm here to bring you a hygge. A hygge is a Scandinavian term for a comfy, cozy feeling, kind of like receiving a hug without actually receiving a physical hug. And we've been talking about, acceptance and kids being able to grow and be who they are. And I had just been reading something, my mentor, who was, a great educator and taught many, many millions of people about Buddhism. He was always talking about, acceptance and to raising people up that maybe never get noticed. He also talked about people that are pretty well known that we may not have heard about in our own environment. Like I was reading this one, he was talking about Pearl Buck, who is an educator.
Yeah, I know Pearl Buck.
Pulitzer Prize winning, Nobel Prize winning, literary figure. And she actually had to raise a developmentally disabled daughter. And she said that she describes her pain and how she would vacillate between feelings of hope and despair. And she said that she was just looking for a school that would accept her and lift her up, because I grew up north in a highly competitive school environment, and that doesn't always lift you up. You're struggling against a lot of opposition, and that's just part of growing up anywhere you are. But the woman wrote, Pearl Buck, she said, the children who never grow are human beings, and they suffer as human beings, inarticulately but deeply nevertheless. The human creature is always more than an animal. And so she goes on to say, it was my child who taught me to understand so clearly that all people are equal in their humanity and that all have the same human rights. None is to be considered less as a human being than any other, and each must be given his place and safety in the world. So, she said, my child taught me humility. And my sensei, my mentor in life, he said how wonderful an example this is. The world is becoming a place where people are preoccupied with undermining others. Many go to extraordinary lengths to dig up others' faults and are ready to do whatever it takes to humiliate them even a little. We live in a society plagued by jealousy and envy. We talk all the time about bracing yourself and fortifying yourself here, with sports, but it's really, really important that, you use that to carry over into the challenges of your daily life and not just win on the court or the field or wherever, but also, embrace everyone the best you can. Like, and if somebody is mean to you or if somebody ignores you, then don't take it personally. It just might be about them that day. Maybe you can find another opportunity to embrace them sometime and eat lunch together or something, and you can work that out, and you might end up being friends. I've had many, many times in life where that happened. Somebody that started in a reverse relationship ends up being a friend.
That is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. And I feel like Christine was talking about the moon and the stars this week, that there's a Venus at play. Maybe that is going to be helpful energy for people to manifest what Don's talking about, where you make connections to people and just enjoy the support of the universe. And
let's go deeper than that. What say ye, Christine?
Well, first I want to say, I want to address one of the things that Don said is that at least I found, especially in my youth, some of those people who started out as people I didn't like or I had a hard, difficult time with became some of my best friends. Sure. And it's an interesting thing because it's kind of about like there's something that happens when we kind of crash. If we can find our way to to communal minds or to coming together in our minds or somehow. But I I've had many instances in my life where that's happened. And it's been very powerful. And so what's going on in the stars right now? Well, the moon is, The moon is waning. We just had a full moon a few weeks ago, and there's a lot of stuff happening. I think the moon's in Leo right now, which is a very positive place for it to be. And there's a lot of aspects with Venus, which is the planet of love and home, and it's related to Taurus and Libra, so it's like peace and feeling good, and so there's a lot of aspects that are about that. So there's a lot of good relationship and aspects and things like that. And so if there are some difficulties happening, just know that the sort of the universe or the solar system is supporting you, right? Just like the moon supports the waters flowing around the earth when it's full and new, and as we're watching those things, the planets do have an effect, even though they might be a little further away. So just, I think it's just so important to look for the good and feel for the good. And especially, and sometimes, actually, one of the things I think, what was it you said? Someone said something just recently, like, what's in front of you? What comes in front of you? Who's right there? And sometimes I know that, like, if I'm having difficulty with a conversation, or if I want to clear something up with somebody, sometimes I make a wish. I used to do this a lot, where I'd say, I really want to talk to this person about this, but I don't know how to make it happen. And then somehow I would bump into that person, or somehow something would happen, and then they would be there, and it would be like the perfect situation. And I'd say, oh, hey, I was hoping I'd bump into you. You know what? I have this, I had this experience. Well, what about you? So too, I think it's so important to ask the questions rather than assume we know what people are thinking, or, that the conversations inside our own head where we judge ourselves, that someone's judging us. We can actually kind of say, hey, what happened for you in that situation? This is what happened for me. And that opens up a conversation, which sometimes it can be difficult. And yet sometimes the difficult conversations are the most wonderful, because we find out that we've misunderstood, or
that means it's cutoff time. Okay.
That's beautiful.
It was beautiful. I just want to thank everybody, all my co-hosts. Every week you remind me why that I do this for the last 15 years, why community matters, connection matters, and why our teens give us so much hope for the future. Now, it's like I said, the holidays are just right around the corner. And I hope that we take this extra time to reach out, check in, and really be present with the people who fill our hearts, whether it's family, friends, teammates, or neighbors who waves at you every morning. So let's stay connected, grateful, and grounded in the good. You're listening to Teen Sports Radio on KZSB AM 1290 and 96.9 FM. God bless you all. Teens, remember, you be you, because everybody else is taken. See you next week.